Welcome back. There are just 4 days to go in the race to the White House, and the candidates are now getting back to full-time campaigning after Hurricane Sandy.
So what effect has the storm had on the campaign? For that, we're joined now by ABC senior Washington editor Rick Klein. Good morning to you, Rick. As always, thanks for being here. Sandy was the story of the week, but with so much media attention devoted to the storm, how did that, and both candidates really got taken off their message, how did that impact the overall campaign, do you think?
One thing it did, it just freeze things in place. It took away the momentum from Mitt Romney. He essentially had to go down for several days in the middle of the final week of the campaign. That's bad news if you're the challenger. And for President Obama, it gave him a chance to do his day job, and that day job happens to be being the president. So he was able to appear in the disaster zone, able to marshal the resources, and just show that he was in control, have a commander-in-chief moment while Mitt Romney was struggling how to be a candidate in a time of a national catastrophe.
And good favorability marks coming out of the storm for the president, correct?
Indeed, we had almost 8 in 10 people say that they saw the president's reaction to the storm favorably. Those are astoundingly positive numbers. And you even had Republicans, including the very prominent Republican Chris Christie, praising him for his efforts. So all around praise for the president in reacting to this. So he's able to look the part, and people seem to react to what he was doing.
Well, let's talk about that reaction, because we've just learned that even Mayor Bloomberg has somewhat endorsed President Obama. And as you just mentioned, I mean, we've seen sort of a bromance, right, between Governor Christie, who has been such a supporter of Romney, and now Barack Obama. I mean, he has been effusive in his praise of the president. What is your sense as to what effect that may have on this election?
Mitt Romney has been trying for the longest time to be a bipartisan, even post-partisan leader, and Mitt Romney is now seeing Barack Obama play that role in real life. Chris Christie to go out of his way in praising President Obama, and then Mayor Bloomberg's endorsement. Mayor Bloomberg epitomizes the idea of someone who's beyond party labels. So for him to come off the sidelines now and cite President Obama and his position on climate change and endorsing his candidacy, I don't think there's a lot of swing voters that are waiting around to see where the mayor of New York is going to come down in this race. But it just reinforces the concept of President Obama as someone who's able to cross party lines and get things done and be forward-looking in terms of his agenda. So I think it just comes at a very well-timed moment for the Obama campaign, a time where they are feeling some wind at their sails. To get a little boost like this is definitely a help. Especially
considering that Bloomberg is an independent here and has been in the spotlight so much with the storm. Also, but of course, all this is a numbers game. We know the ground game is in full effect on both sides here. So what is it looking like in terms of the battleground states, most importantly, Ohio, of course?
You march across the battlegrounds and you are seeing a President Obama edge, including in Ohio, where, as we've talked about, 50% plus in polling over and over again, we see an edge for President Obama in Mitt Romney's must-win state of Ohio. So we're going to see the candidates spend a lot of time up there in the upper Midwest. Ohio's going to get a ton of attention over the last couple of days from both candidates. President Obama knowing that that's a place where he can stop Mitt Romney cold. So you look at this map right now and you continue to have to say President Obama has the edge.
We're hearing that Mitt Romney is going to Pennsylvania. Most people would say, why spend time there? I mean, that clearly is Joe Biden's backyard.
Maybe this is a head fake, a bit of a Hail Mary from the Romney campaign. The intriguing thing is that the Obama campaign is responding with advertising in those states. They're not sending the president there directly, although Bill Clinton is spending some time in Minnesota, and Joe Biden, son of Scranton, is going to be in Pennsylvania before this is out.
Very interesting final few days here. Rick, you've been a great asset to us throughout the campaign season. We appreciate you joining us once again. We'll hear from you after Tuesday, the big day. Rick Klein again, our senior Washington editor. Thanks again, Rick. We'll be right back after this.